I tell you what, some binaural beats or some smooth jazz or something. So I'm JWillard, and I'm here today to present my project on outdoor leadership among generations in society. Growing up, I really was connected with the environment and the outdoors. I was outside all day long, literally as much as I could get myself out there. I grew up in the city schools, however, and was exposed to a lot of urban areas and urban lifestyles as I grew up there, while simultaneously living in Nelson County. So I was able to experience both worlds of living in urban areas and rural areas. What I learned was there's a lot of things that go on that allow people to not really consider the environment as part of their lifestyle. They depend on the infrastructure and a lot more these days on technology to be able to go throughout their lives, specifically on computers and the internet to get their news. And a lot of people are addicted to cell phones and just being connected with society. Basically, what I was trying to say was nature deficit disorder is bad. Nature deficit disorder is not being able to use nature and the environment as the part of your lifestyle. Specifically, outdoor leadership. I was involved in a leadership program when I was 13, in which I was taken out with a group of other peers my age, and we were taken to West Virginia to go on a week-long backpacking trip. At the time, it seemed like a pretty outstanding accomplishment. I mean, we actually hiked close to 30 miles with 100-pound backpacks as 13-year-olds. And I just thought this was amazing how I was able to go out and do this at such a young age and be able to take the initiative to be outdoors. As you can look around us, you can see a lot of green, openness, and you can smell a lot of fresh air. And that's not a coincidence. Our community and our lifestyles reflect how we use this to our advantage. In Nelson County, we've been using the land and using the natural resources for our lifestyles for hundreds of years. Specifically for my internship, I want to create more opportunities in my community to be able to go out and connect with the environment, whether that is young children to adults. It's important for opportunities for early connection for childhood because the environment creates a lot of developmental stages that are important for the creativity and the activeness of a young child. Being outdoors and being active is such a staple of a childhood. It can produce active lifestyle and tremendous amounts of motivation as young adults and going into school, pursuing their dreams. Without these activeness and being outdoors, a lot of children participate in a lot more sedentary behaviors and sluggishness as they're not active. Active bodies lead to active minds. And in order to be as productive and motivated as possible, you need to be able to keep your body motivated and active. So my question was, why are we as a society neglecting the environment and the serious beneficiaries of holding active lifestyles in connection with nature in our own everyday lives? I just wanted to be a leader in trying to create opportunities for people to really start to use the environment to our advantage as we progress in generations to come. There's a lot of global warming and pollution that's going on. That's mainly because we don't consider the environment as that important. We neglected stewardship and its maintenance because we're not active in it. The more we become active and a part of it, the more we will love and care for it and eventually become stewards of our surroundings. So for my internship, I reached out to the head of Nelson County Recreation, Emily Harper, and we tried to make opportunities for young children around the county to come out and just do whatever. Specifically, I went with the YMCA program at Tower River Elementary, the after-school program, and I took them out on a hike one day. What we saw Well, I met a lot of creative and inspiring children that were very energizing. I really didn't think it'd be that fun. But I really didn't. And they just enlightened me, just like I felt like a child again. I mean, it was crazy what your surroundings can produce and your happiness and just overall demeanor. Um, Specifically, for my legacy with Miss Emily Harper, we're trying to create more opportunities recreationally this upcoming summer, whether it's community trail walks, games to just capture the flag, dodgeball, a lot more leagues, and just opportunities from ages young to old to get involved. My community service, I went all the way to James River State Park, and I met Miss Jennifer Jones, who I did my senior uh, interview. Miss Jennifer Jones is specifically involved in outdoor leadership as she tries to get as many people to come and volunteer at her park as possible. She's very active in trying to get young children involved, and she creates a lot of opportunities and events that they have at James River State Park. They actually basically almost have an event every weekend once the season really gets started. As you can see here, the riverbank is crazy. They have so many different people that travel all over the East Coast just to come to this park to tube the river a little bit. I just find that amazing how people come so far to do this, but people around the community don't even consider it as part of their lifestyle. I didn't even know James River Park existed until about a year ago, and it's still technically in Nelson County. So, as far as outdoor leadership goes, it's really about the support of the parental guidance and just adult support. In education systems in urban areas, they're lacking a lot of playgrounds and just areas of play for kids to be active. If we improve the education systems and the overall adult support of these opportunities, we can really involve the next coming generations into a more active lifestyle. And that's really critical as we progress with global warming and trying to keep this planet as long as possible. As you can see, there's a lot of initiative to do so. You can see green spaces in urban areas, large-scale parks. The specific surroundings of nature can reduce stress, reduce stress, produce open-mindedness, and just really create a true demeanor of peace. And really, the ADHD and obesity problems that we're coming up with the next generations directly correlate with this. As children aren't being active with outdoors, they're producing a lot more psychological problems because they're not developing the open-mindedness and the creativity that comes with being outdoors. Obesity is directly correlated with sedentary behavior and just not being active. My regrets for this internship is the time and the seasons. I really didn't take an initiative for my specific internship. I didn't realize how important the timing of the years were. James River State Park was not being used like basically the whole month of January, February. And I was trying to do volunteer work, and they were like, "There's actually nothing to do." And I also had a lack of transportation stemming from my early mistakes. I neglected the importance of my transportation for this internship, and it really came to be a big deal how I carried out. But I'm happy to where I got to. I really look forward to trying to create more opportunities for my community to try to promote this.
You talked about urban versus rural environments. Do you see this as mainly an urban problem, or do you see it also in our community?
I see it as both. Our community is really it doesn't, they live in the community, but they really don't use it as recreational and more as a fun type of thing. They just live in it. In urban areas, they don't really have the opportunity to come use it recreational, so they don't. they miss out on the opportunity. So if we create more opportunities in urban areas for them to be active and experience the environment, they will be able to.
So since you did a lot of work with elementary students, my question involves kind of that age group.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the roles of the schools should be to help children make this connection into the environment? And what can the schools do to help facilitate children do that?
Schools these days are really focusing on trying to get kids involved with technology and laptops as early as possible. I remember being on laptops as early as first and second grade, and really, I mean, that's really good and all because technology is becoming a huge force in how we do things coming up in society. But if we really take an initiative to embrace the importance of being connected with outdoors and being active, we can produce more opportunities within the school when teaching how to be active and maintaining these lifestyles with these children.
Thank you.
As usual, I have two questions. So my first is about your community service. I appreciate your honesty in saying that you went in the wrong season, you had difficulty with transportation, that part of your community service was done during a time when James River State Park was not being used. So my question is, based on that, how do you believe that your community service was effective, that it made a long-term difference? Do you believe that your contributions there were significant?
Yes, I was able to do a lot of community service for spring break. We made about half a mile to almost 3/4 of a mile of fresh new trail out of complete nothingness. Really making these trails and these opportunities in these state parks create more opportunities for people to be inspired and connected with the environment and create hobbies with it. At the state park, there's really so much you can do. You can do horseback riding, to canoeing and tubing, to trail walking, to mountain biking. Just really the variety of being outdoors and creating these different opportunities can impact the inspiration that comes with it.
Good, thank you. My second question, I actually recently read an article on this topic, and I was wondering what kind of data did you encounter regarding the specific benefits and well-being of both students at a young age who are exposed to outdoor leadership and increased exposure to nature, as well as the long-term success and well-being of young people in this situation as they progress to adulthood?
A lot of the research I found was specific stats of the hours that kids are involved with activity and sedentary behavior versus populations like years ago and being involved with education systems early on.
I'm thinking specifically about cognitive and behavioral benefits.
I really saw a lot of facts about the ADHD and obesity problems that come with it. Just the stress and the connection with nature, creating creativity and open-mindedness for young children, being able to just give them the realm of all possibilities for them to create and grow and develop as personalities.
Wondering what your future plans are.
My future plans, I am either gonna go be a delivery man at James River State Park and help them move tubes and stuff, and also try to create more opportunities within the park. I really like the park and the people that work there. I really work with them to make the park that much better. The park has so much potential. It can really be something great one day that everyone knows about and everyone uses to their advantage. I also specifically want to work with Nelson County Recreation to do these opportunities.